Everyone, Reyan from Barbecues and Brews and Brew Show. Welcome to another show. We've got a great bunch of guests in today. We've got the members, or some of the members of the Women of Low and Slow Barbecue coming on the show today. So Women of Low and Slow Barbecue, Ceri and Linda founded it back in 2017 to create a safe and judgment-free sort of place for women to discuss barbecue, whether they're cooking at home or on a competition circuit. On this episode so far, unfortunately, Ceri can't make it tonight, so we've got Sonia from Signature Smoke, so can't wait to have a chat to her, and Roz from Flamin Grillas coming on, and we're hoping to see Kimmi from Nomad Kitchen too, but she is on site. Oh, she's just arrived. She's driving. This is perfect. We'll get her on shortly. But they all come around and tell us the story about the barbecue journey. So they probably all have their own amazing journeys, and they've come together as a group to talk about it and give us some great barbecue cooking tips as well. So if you want to join in the conversation, pop your comments in the chat, and we can ask the ladies the questions as well, and get through as many as we can. But before we do that, I've got to do a quick shout out to our sponsors. Our beer sponsor is Brewery Cola down here in Ocean Grove on the Bellarine Peninsula. Today I'm drinking the Pale Ale, which is a great drop, and I'm going to just open it away from tech and say a quick cheers, because I forgot to say that Mark can't make it today too. So we've got a few people off sick, and we are working through it. So huge thanks to Brew Cola for being a sponsor and coming on, and we'll get through that beer during the show. And our other sponsor is therubsociety.com.au, and this week's rub of the week is Black Bear Barbecue's Chicken Rub. These guys do some amazing stuff in New South Wales and around Sydney area. You go check them out. But yeah, this rub is epic. And if you go to therubsociety.com.au, pop in RFTRS at checkout and get yourself 10% off. And they've got a whole bunch of rubs and sauces and knives and everything. So those three boys are doing some great work down there in Adelaide. All right. Without further ado, let's start to get some of the guests in. I'm going to start with Roz from Flamin Grillas. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good, thank you. Welcome to the show. I'm just going to get Sonia in as well. And I'm going to... Hey, Sonia, how you doing? I'm just looking at Kimmi. I'm not too sure what's going on, but let's pop her in and see what's going on. Kimmi, can you hear us?
You go. So, okay.
There she is in the car.
Live from site. I love it. How you doing? That's all right. We'll start with you two. Roz, Sonia, what are you guys drinking tonight? Yes.
Yeah,
yes. You're...
What are we drinking?
Yeah, what are you drinking?
I'm drinking a Stickman bourbon. So basically, what that is my partner now believes he's a king distiller. Right. So he's started brewing his own alcohol, which is really quite handy when my nickname used to be Bourbon Girl. So, and he's nailing it.
Yeah, excellent. And Roz, how about you?
So I've got brown snake ginger beer. We actually got onto this. It was something that my husband was deciding to just try. And then while he was drinking that, he decided that he would go in a competition head-to-head with me and decided to name his comp team Brown Snake Barbecue. So we've been drinking it ever since.
Oh, excellent. And Kimmi, I'm not sure. Can you hear us all right?
Is that better?
Yes, can you hear us all right there?
Hello? Yeah. Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, no.
Let me try again.
He's not drinking and driving.
Welcome to the world of B1. I was driving. Look, I got my smoker on. Hang on. Where is she?
Oh, there we
go. Sorry. I got home with like a minute to spare. I haven't had a chance to go and get a drink yet. I'll go get one.
Right. Kimmi, did you want me to? I can watch you backstage and put you back in once you're ready to go. Did you want me to do that?
I literally had a minute to spare right now.
All right, I might just do that just while she sets up.
Oh, Jesus.
Hey, that's a first. I like it. Yeah, I can see her backstage. Once she's settled down, I'll pop her back in once she's got a spot. So now tell us about the group, Women of Low and Slow Barbecue Australia. How did it come together, and sort of what do you guys do, and how do you guys support each other?
You can go, Roz. If you like.
Yeah, right. Sorry, I was going to say I did one of those.
We're both really chatty. So
for me, I think it was all about going into a safe place without copping all of the, it's a woman doing barbecue and asking those dumb questions and the not so dumb questions and feeling it's a safe place. Yeah. So a lot of the members that are in that group won't ask in the bigger groups just because they are afraid of going, it's a woman doing barbecue. It's we're all there. We're experienced. We're able to help. We can go, hey, look, I've done this. Try it this way. Or we go, hey, look, I've cooked this really cool meal. This is how you do it. And we share all those posts as well. So I think it's more about just supporting, especially since it's a very male-orientated industry. It's given that little bit extra push with us girls.
Absolutely. And so it is a Facebook group, though, isn't it? And you got about 1,000 members at the moment?
Probably more, maybe 1,500 or so.
Cool.
We didn't create the group. We were both probably early people joining the group or asked to join. For me, it was more, I've been on the field for a very long time. Often there's, maybe one or two girls in the group that are competing and stuff, and not a lot of us. I just wanted to, create more focus on getting women into competing and getting out there and having some fun with it. So, and also because I've probably learnt a lot when people ask questions, I'm happy to answer the questions because a couple of years earlier, they were my questions. That's
awesome.
Yeah.
And that's good. I think it's nice when you can help others come up in their skill level and they, like you said, in a judgment-free, friendly environment. And how do people join the group?
A lot of us have invited people that are like-minded, I think, Roz, to the group, and it's sort of come from there. And then people are also now just stumbling across it. So so it's a small private group, and people are starting to stumble across it more and more. Like at the beginning, we probably knew all the names very early, like I did. I'm like, that, know all of them. But now it's like, there's another new one. So it's good.
Yeah, it's getting really popular. Like there's even a few members in there that aren't Australian, even though it is Women of Low and Slow Barbecue Australia. There's quite a few that have joined going, hey, look, I don't have anything like this in my country. Do you mind if I hang out here?
Yeah,
so
awesome.
It's definitely spreading as well. So it's good. And people are searching for women barbecue.
That's great, and it's good to have that support network, I think. And I mean, do you guys do like meetups? I mean, obviously you two meet up and you do competition side of things as well, but is there any other sort of organized sort of catch ups you guys do together as a group?
It hasn't really happened.
We've tried a couple times, but timing is quite hard because most of us are spread across the country. So we actually tried to do a catch up at one of my pop-ups. So we were doing a pop-up at a local brewery, and we tried to arrange those that were local to go there. The weather fought against us, timing fought against us. So it's more so we catch up with as many as we can.
I think it was a flood weekend. We'd actually organised one, and lots of people. It was like literally all the roads were shut and it was flooded. It was like God said, "No, you can't get together." So.
I think now it's a matter of when there's an event, hey guys, who's going to be there? I'll be at such and such, or I'll be in this tent. So,
and that was, I think, like meat stock for you because I met Ceri there for the first time, and I felt like that's where you met, and then I think Toowoomba you met again as well. So it's just one of those things where it's a good place to meet when there is a common event happening.
Yeah, absolutely,
definitely.
And I mean, and I suppose, coming back to individually, the two of you, how did your individual passions come through for barbecue? Because it's, maybe I'll start with you, Roz. Just what got you cooking and I guess, smoking barbecue and getting involved in the competition scene? Because competition scene, that's a whole nother level step up, isn't it?
It is. It's a very different world. So I'm used to doing. I've been catering for a few years with barbecue now. It actually started because I bought my husband a smoker to start with.
Okay.
And he got into it, and the more that he got into it, the more I sort of fell into it as well. And I was on maternity leave, and we started doing some vendoring, and it just sort of took off. And then when we moved into comp, it became a bit of a friendly. We were supposed to go against each other as a bit of a laugh in the comp. Then that comp got postponed, and then I did my first comp actually next to Sonia just recently at Smokefest.
On the Gold Coast, yeah. That was unreal. What was the Smokefest like?
Really good, actually. It was a great environment. It was good to see everyone sort of sitting down, having their little picnics, getting barbecue, coming over and seeing all the comp teams, going to the vendors and going, hey, look, I've seen what the comp guys are doing. I want to buy this, I want to buy the barbecue food. So it was really good.
Unreal. And that one got postponed a couple of times too because of weather and all that stuff.
We've talked it up.
Some crazy rain. So I was so glad to see that actually come through and become an event.
There was a lot of concern about the weather for this one again. Like everyone in the background is going, oh no, don't start raining. But it was perfect weather. Like it could not have been better.
Yeah. No, it's fantastic. And how about you, Sonia? How did you get going?
Well, basically, we're massive foodies at heart. So my partner and I are Sticks. Everyone calls him Sticks. We used to attend a lot of food festivals, and we went to the Brisbane Barbecue Festival. We went to the Toowoomba Barbecue Festival as spectators. He already had an offset at home from going to Texas for 4 weeks. We already had a lot of barbecues at home with us. And literally we walked around one of the comps, I think it was a Toowoomba comp in 2018, and I just said, oh, mate, these people are cooking on Weber kettles. We've got that at home. Let's sign up. And so we just signed up with no idea what we're doing, didn't read the rules, literally rocked up at comp and just cooked what we like to cook and didn't cook everything and had a great time and we're hooked, basically. So
that's awesome. And welcome, Kimmi. Hopefully you can hear us all right now. Fantastic.
Yeah, I ran inside. I've hooked up the computer.
I thought I'd give you a minute. Thanks for letting us know anyway. But look, it's good to have you here. And now, Kimmi, we were just asking how everyone started in their barbecue, I guess, journey. How did you begin?
So the other funny story, the other half and I both hospitality backgrounds. Between us, we've got nearly 40-something years. He happened to be scrolling through Facebook one night and came across Bullockhead Creek smokers. And Craig just happened to have one of these, the one that I showed you earlier, on special. And he's looked at it and goes, how about we give it a go? And I'm like, yep, just do it, just buy it. And that's nearly 7 years now.
Do it.
7 years. We were the only ones in the area that had it, and we just slowly built up a little business now that we've got 2 trailers on us, 2 smoker trailers, 2 food vans. We service the south coast of New South Wales. We do a couple of barbecue festivals. We do catering everywhere. I was just at one tonight. That's why I was late. It's definitely grown, definitely pushes us to our limits, and absolutely love it. Wouldn't change it for the world.
That's fantastic. And look, you brought up obviously your catering side of things, and both you, Sonia and Rose, you both have done that too. You both have, not necessarily catering, but you actually, I think Sonia, are you still running the Bowls Club?
No, there as well? We had to make a decision last year around whether we went full-time barbecue or not. Basically, we were both working full-time and running a bowls club at the same time and having 3 kids.
Oh, man.
My house.
So it was let's just say the hours were ludicrous. And we sort of got to this tipping point and went, do we go full-time barbecue or don't we? And we made the decision not to go full-time barbecue. It was mainly related around the ages of our children and things like that. And their needs on the weekends. They certainly were not enjoying spending their weekends at the bowls club every weekend.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. I think down the track it was a timing issue. Down the track it would probably be something that we will go to with more again. At the moment, we just do the odd event. I'd say no to 9 out of 10 things that we're offered to do.
Wow. Okay. Yep.
Literally, it's every day people want something. But, you know, I prefer doing some of the small training things like that. I don't want to do pop-ups because there's too much risk. Catering where you know what you're going to get paid in advance, yes. But overall, our focus at the moment has been more the competitive side. And we've taken a bit of a step back from actually vending and just focused on some other areas in our life, to be honest.
Which is fair enough. I mean, that's it's like obviously Kimmi and Roz can probably attest to it. You know, I think you did what did you do, a 44 out of a 48-hour weekend? Just pass, right? Like, I mean, it is catering
that on top of the 40-hour week. I was almost in a mental breakdown state. I was rocking. I'm like, I can't keep doing this. I'm not re-signing. Like, and then I mean, on top of that, kids having kids. Just can't get staff. That was their biggest issue. Yeah.
No, that's it. So I mean, that's good. So you're focusing on some of the, do you do some of the master classes as well still, or you just
yeah, we do, but only for small, like we'll do like a corporate one. Like there's, how do I put this? They obviously all know each other, they pay well for those sort of events, they have a lot of fun in those sort of events. We enjoy that probably the best out of anything that we get asked to do. So more that one-on-one. We only do it to a maximum of 20 people. We've done a lot of fundraising this year, like some of the Lismore events with Mafia, and we did fundraising for Stockpot as well as just once events. So
those guys got hit bad.
So we've done a lot of things like that. So just ad hoc stuff. So usually about once a month we'll do something. But realistically for us, our main passion is the comp scene. We just love it. It's addictive, and we spend way too much money on it. It's ridiculous. So,
we'll come back to the comp scene because that intrigues me. That's something I haven't quite experienced yet. I've sort of witnessed as a spectator, but not really being in yet. So but it seems like once you're in, you get hooked. Now, Roz, Flamin Grillas, obviously, like I just mentioned before, just last weekend you worked 40 hours out of the 48-hour weekend. Tell us, like, you know, what got you into the catering side of things, and what's your setup like?
It sort of just fell into place. First time that we were involved with the barbecue and beer roadshow, they actually approached us and said, "Hey, look, are you guys willing to vendor?" Because they knew that we just got a sponsored barbecue trailer. So we're like, yeah, we'll give it a go. And every event that came through, do you guys want to vendor again? Do you guys want to vendor again? And we're like, make money or let's go make some money. And it just grew and grew and grew. And because it's, to be honest, to have a barbecue business, you have to love it. If you don't love it, the hours and the extreme amount of work, just wouldn't happen. You know, if you don't love it, it's definitely a different world. But I mean, we started off with a little tiny trailer. I think it was a 24-inch. We actually have exactly the same trailer now. We actually bought another one the same as it, Memories. But we're just finishing our 4th trailer, which is a full food truck. So we've got 4 different trucks that go out, and then I also do catering separately as well, because we have more smokers that are just standalones as well. So all up, we can do up to about 8 or 9 events in a day. So it's insane. Like, it's good, but it is exhausting.
I can imagine. Now, look, I mean, competition barbecue and food truck, and obviously catering and things like that, you know, you guys have to pick a fair bit of meat and you're obviously consuming a fair bit of meat, and especially the quality, you know, and things like that. So Kimmi, I might start with you. You know, how do you go around, you know, picking your meat and things like that? And from a, you know, do you have, especially like brisket, do you have a marble score that you'd like to hit? What's you know, and how you found it in the last 2 to 5 years? Oh, maybe in the last couple of years, I'll probably bring it back a bit. But yeah, like the price wise as well.
when we, I think when we,
There's no up and down on that.
Oh, no.
and it's more
Always
this.
like this. Sorry.
I think when we started, we were only paying about $7 a kilo.
Yeah.
Wow.
And
For
it's,
brisket.
yeah,
Exactly where we started too. My finance back
Oh,
then.
man.
yeah.
Yeah.
And now,
I do miss those days very much.
Yeah, they were so good. The good old bloody Costco box, $6.99 a kilo.
That's unreal.
It was the best thing
Yeah.
ever. And even
That's
now,
when
you
we
still
used to
can't
like
go wrong with a Costco brisket. But I think our average is like Mubble Score 2. I think even now you're still paying $18, $19 a kilo. We are lucky enough to have a middleman. He delivers basically straight to our door from his supplier. But yeah, in 6 years, it's gone up, $10 a kilo?
At least.
And the quality's just not there either.
No,
Like,
right.
No, certainly not. Like some of it rock up, and you open the bag, and it's like it's been like maliciously attacked, slash stabbed.
Wow.
you've got a slash,
Yeah.
or you've got 3 inches of fat cap over the top, and you're just like,
Yep.
I've just cut off 4
no.
kilos out of a
Yeah.
8 kilo brisket, and you're just like,
Yeah.
that's ridiculous.
Here
And then
comes
by the
some
time
more
you
meat.
cook it down, you look at it, out of a 8 kilo slab that rocked up, on average, you're down to maybe about 1.5 kilos.
Wow.
Just
Wow.
every brand's different, every label's different, every
Even within the
piece that
same
comes
brand,
off.
it's different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can get a box, for example, Josdale. Josdale can turn up, and one box will have 2 decent sized ones in it. The next box rocks up, and it's got 3 little ones in it. A couple of the Black Angus varieties and stuff. There's always good consistency. It is. I'm actually finding, I think it's getting harder. Our butcher
All the supply chain issues.
our butcher just orders this in an entire pallet for us to get through the next 2 weeks.
Wow.
And he said next time pallet could be $21 a kilo. It's going to go up because of all the flooding. We get it. The flooding.
Yeah.
The travel
Demand goes up.
The highways are shut. Roads are damaged. Properties are flooded. It's going to go through the roof again.
Yeah.
We just have to
Like
hang on
even
to the
in the
ride.
slaughterhouses, their suppliers, they're saying, like we can't staff it. They're getting brickies in.
No.
They're getting labourers in. They're cutting, like they're cutting into the beast and cutting a brisket out, and I have no idea what a brisket is. Then you get things that are just awful quality, and you're looking at it going,
right. Yeah, that's not good.
wow.
Yeah. I wish I had a photo of one that we got the other day. It was like, chainsaw massacre had happened all over.
Yeah.
It was shit.
It's a good one to
Right,
highlight.
but it was shit.
Yeah, it's a good one to highlight because I think people sort of, there is this understanding like, oh, why is barbecue so expensive, right? And that's right there in that little bit of a segment is where you go like, well, if you're paying for 8 kilos of brisket, you end up with a couple of kilos. Then you're gonna cook that and lose 30% on that.
Yeah.
Well, and you've also got 20 hours of prep to get into an event.
Yeah.
And they're going, it's not worth that. And you're like, well, I'm not flash frying anything. It's not a 5-minute job for me to do it. I spent all day yesterday and last night.
And
cooking
everything.
The wood,
Yeah.
All of it. Yeah.
Unreal.
100%.
And Sonia and Roz, you too, are you finding sort of similar sort of obviously meat supplies issues at the moment as well?
Yeah. Roz, I don't know about you. We obviously, I have some set places that we go for meat, definitely, without a doubt. And there's set brands for comp that we really like. Half the time I can't get what I want to get. It's just very difficult in that regard. Pricing is just through the roof. So we will chase specials as well. We've got great chest freezers and things here, thank goodness, where if we see a great special, we'll go and get it.
Yeah.
But quality just hasn't been what it used to be. The last 2 years has been tough in that regard. I think It's hopefully gets, and you see certain things start flooding the market at different times, and you go, oh, must be they've got a lot of that at the moment. It was actually good because they weren't sending as much meat over to China and different places like that, and we actually got some really good quality at the very beginning, I think, and then there was supply chain issues, and then all these other issues have happened, and it's just been a lot more difficult. I know.
We're the same. Our supplier gets 3 ton a week just in brisket. And I mean, we're getting one of the biggest names in brisket continuously. I won't mention them because they're up and down. And
I think I know who. I'm not mentioning any brand names.
Just to answer your question, this supply house actually has a specific requirement for each of their briskets. They actually have a list of, it's supposed to meet these standards before it goes out the door. I can guarantee you 80% of them don't hit that standard now. And it's just because they can't. They don't have the staff who know how to do it to be able to be that consistency. And I mean, I went into meat stock Toowoomba last year with a ton of meat, literally over a ton of meat. And there was not a single thing that was the same. And it was all the same brand, but you'd have a good carton, you'd have a bad carton, you'd have a good carton, all coming from the same slaughterhouse. Like you can't, you just can't pick it. And it makes it really, really hard because you're losing so much. I mean, out of one day of trimming brisket, I reckon I threw out $4,000 just in fat. Just in fat. And you look at those sorts of figures and you're just like, it's so hard to maintain. And you just have to just run with it. That's why barbecue is expensive. But those that do barbecue know how expensive it is. And they sort of go, I'm not getting a Macca's burger that's like, this big. I'm getting a real size burger and I'm actually going to have be full at the end of it. So it does make it worth it. It's just as a supplier and as the person who cooks it, you just have to run with it and go, you know what? It's hard. It is hard, but what can you do? You just have to keep going through. Otherwise, you just sort of give up and go, well, I'm out.
It'll either make you or break you.
That's it. And I think it's it's adversity that makes you stronger. It makes you, makes you more, I guess more competitive and get the hunger up because the people that can't handle it are the ones that obviously that can't make it. So, but in saying that, look, I mean, I worked with a local wholesaler here in Victoria, and same thing over the last few years. Like, I mean, I do a lot of pork ribs, hence the tag on Instagram and things like that. And there was a while that I just couldn't get pork ribs, and then all of a sudden, boom! I'm like, I'll take a box, thanks. And like, I'm not competing, and I'm not cooking anything, but I'm like, you know what? I know I'm not going to get that again for a while. So you just got to hit it, don't you? Yeah. No, it's unreal.
I mean, something's coming out. You've got to buy it. Otherwise, you'll be sitting there in a week going, why did I not get it? I should have just got it. I'll just go get it. And then it's never there. So.
And it's funny. We're talking about meat and we're talking about, obviously protein, but like things like jalapenos. In the last couple of years have been weird, right? I was watching one of Boomer's stories, about Boomer's barbecue, and he's like, I couldn't find jalapenos and ended up having to pay like a crazy amount of money a kilo so you can run a class with jalapenos in it. It's the same thing. Like jalapeno poppers have gone through the roof, but people still don't understand. Like, it's just a jalapeno, but it's gone up.
It's the time. It's the process.
Look at cabbages. Like
That's what I just said.
Lettuce went a bit crazy there for a bit.
A cabbage, like a little cabbage that's tiny. And you just go, $18. I paid $2 for that a month ago. What? It's just.
If you're listening, please understand what you ladies have to go through to get you barbecue.
Tough game.
$1.99. $1.99.
And then all of a sudden they were $5 and you're like, I'll take 20.
A month ago we paid sorry, go Ryan.
Oh no, it's okay. Sorry, I had a
month ago we paid $20 for a box of corn. Yesterday it was up to $54.
Wow.
For a box of corn.
I was speaking to
that's really impacting.
It is. It is. Speaking to Anthony from Mama Elise, and he normally pays about $100 for a box of chilies, and just recently it was like $250. I mean, that just kills your margin if you're making hot sauce. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's a hard,
And it's
hard.
It's
yeah,
the same
hard-
everywhere, and that's hard
Yeah.
because you're trying to explain to people, I'm trying to keep costs down. I try not to raise my prices. I'm doing what I can, but at the same time, it's like I need to be able to function as well.
It's the same across every industry,
Yeah.
though.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
Oh yeah.
it's across the board, isn't it? So
No, that's it.
yeah,
But I think there's a fair bit of understanding there too as well. I want to sort of wind it back a bit more to a bit of competition barbecue, and obviously the meat that goes into competition barbecue is a whole another kettle of fish in what it is. And Sonia, you mentioned you spend way more than you need to on competition barbecue, but I mean, I guess initially we had a couple of years of nothingness, we'll call it.
yeah.
But how good is it to come back and have some competitions?
We were lucky in Queensland.
You were too, weren't you?
We didn't have nothingness for competition barbecue. So
Victoria
we
was like desert.
Yeah, we still had quite a few comps on. So I mean, this year I think we've done 6 or 7 comps. So like that's usually we probably do about that much. Typically we stick in Queensland. The furthest we go so far has been Armidale or Bangalore, and we're off to Armidale again in 2 weeks. But people forget, like, it just adds up. Like, we actually we were supposed to go to Mackay 2 weekends ago, and we ended up pulling out. We worked out it was going to cost us about $3,500 just to compete for that weekend.
Wow.
So between flights, fuel, accommodation, meat, everything else you need, it was literally going to be that much. And just leading into Christmas and different things, we made the choice not to go. We're lucky. We do have some good sponsors that do help us. But so we work with I don't know whether I'm allowed to say brands or not.
No, say brands.
Mafia has always supported us. They've been our biggest supporters since day one. So they trained us. They've helped us since day one. Same with Heavenly Health Sources. They've helped us train us since day one. So those sort of people have helped us a lot. At the moment, we're doing a bit of work with Super Butcher. That's sort of a new relationship for us. And so, there's different ways that people can help. We make, I've got a shirt here. We make merchandise and try and sell that to people. To
I
make
saw that. That's a good one. I like that one.
And help pay for our barbecue journey. So, but it's our choice to compete. So, to me, who gets to go camping at some of the, like, I've camped at Aussie World in Queensland, like a theme park. I've camped on the beach at Burleigh, camped for 2 days with 100 of your closest mates that you don't know all of them, but you know half of them. So we not only compete for the trophies, we compete for the fun. People know that Signature Smoke's never really concentrated on SEA whatsoever. And quite frankly, it's because we want to spend 1 day cooking ABA, 1 day drinking, and hungover. We like to have fun.
That's a perfect plan.
I don't know. I don't want to just work the whole time for a weekend. I want to have fun and go and see people and talk to them and taste their food and experience.
And it makes such and that's it's funny. I was speaking to Sterling Smith this morning actually, and he was saying how he lost the fun. He got a bit too serious.
And you can easily do it. I've seen so many teams because it's too hard. It's too stressful now. Do you know what I mean?
But it impacted his cooks.
Anymore.
It actually made his cooks worse. And he went, now he's found a balance where he's like, you know what, I'm having fun. I'm having a few drinks and things like that. And I love Dan Barrett, actually. Dan Barrett goes and just cooks steak for the SDA. And he doesn't do anything else. I'm like, what are you doing?
No. And I think that's what we're going to do next year. We just and teach us how to cook steak. We can cook steak, we think, but apparently, I don't know. The processes they do are like.
You got to watch it. I've watched a few over the last. I'm like, oh my lord,
I have to.
Way more.
We've watched Dusty Q and a few of those. We're very close.
Oh yeah, and how good are they going at the moment?
Yeah, great. They're awesome. I mean,
so
they're
good.
28 years chefs. They're incredible. They stayed at our house, and and we're like, should we go out for breakfast? And he's like, oh no. Jeff goes, no, I'll cook something. And I'm like, oh, I've only got like a dead vegetable drawer because we just got back from the comp. And I pulled out these dead vegetables, and he turned it into the most gourmet breakfast I've ever eaten in my life. I'm like, wow, that was good. So yeah, it was pretty ironic. We were a little bit hungover after Bacon Fest, and we'd both done quite well, and it was just they're just incredible. Good people, just good people. That's all I look for, good people on the scene.
No, you did really well at King Roy, didn't you?
Yeah, King Roy's been good for us. That was our first ever GC. So our first ever GC was in our first year in 2019. I think for us it's level playing field. So because everybody has provided the same meat, it makes a huge.
I was reading about that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so our first ever GC, that was like our fourth comp, and it's all sun pork and Angus Reserve, and because both of those brands for us were cheap buys at Costco, that's what we had always practiced on. We'd never practiced on expensive grade food, so we the first time in 2019, it was just like, this is the stuff we always use, like. Great, we're getting it for free. This is the cheapest comp of the year. Fantastic, and then this time again, we did pretty good. We got second, so we got RGC. Dusty got GC. But again, they're solid brands that we've cooked a lot, because it's all about practicing really the same processes. Solid brands that we've cooked a lot. And I think the level playing field is good, because it helps new teams as well. So, you know, everyone's given the exact same thing. It makes a huge difference to results overall.
No, and it makes a difference. I mean, you know, when someone's bringing a $350 brisket versus someone that's bringing a $120 brisket, $100 brisket, it's a big difference. And Ross, how about yourself? How's the comp scene been for you? And I know you're doing a lot of catering as well. Talk us through the couple of years.
Well, for comp, I actually did my own first comp. It was probably
great
now at Smokefest. Completely blew. My only goal was not to come last, because I'm like, I cook 50 briskets a week, like easily, all the time. And I was like, this comp barbecue cooking is so different. I'm just sitting there going, as long as I don't come last. And we actually managed to pull out. We took first in lamb and we came fourth in chicken. So we were just over the moon. But it is such a different environment. Like, it really is. And cooking barbecue, how I cook it for you, if you're going to come and eat it, is so different to it's not even in the same ballpark.
You got one bite, right? You got one bite to get the score.
So you've got to make an impression in one bite. And
but not too much of an impression either. You want to make just the right amount of impression.
Like, we're pretty popular here in Brisbane. Like, we're a pretty popular barbecue vendor, and I sort of went in going, oh, maybe I should stick with my own flavors. And I'm looking at everyone else's flavors, going, I can't do it on my own flavors. I need to just keep going.
Oh, I could imagine. Yeah, it's and the barbecue flavors are another level as well. Like
sorry, I've just got a visitor. Sorry.
Oh, it's all right.
Hey, I've locked mine inside.
That's why I locked myself in the garage.
I tried, but she stuck away.
All good.
Gorgeous.
All good. But yeah, it is one of those things where I think the flavors you get at the barbecue, and I've had a few tests here and there. I've judged one, but I've had a few tests here and there. But it is just
judging is
great. punch in your face kind of flavor. Yeah, and you obviously mistake of cooking too much. Actually, when you're judging, eating too much is the biggest mistake, and that's. I've did that a couple of times.
Like ribs. Everyone wants fall off the bone ribs, for example. But if you have fall off the bone ribs, you're instantly failed. I mean, that's what everyone wants, but you go into a comp and you're like, what do you mean that's not what you want? Like, that's good tasting ribs. Like, what?
You want that watermelon bite, right?
Yep. You want those teeth marks to show up in that meat and stuff, to still wiggle that bone around.
In the area. The country people like it a bit more fall off the bone. Every area. each zone has their own flavor profile. It's a bit
Right. And
weird.
have you found that, Sonia? Do you sort of have you tracked that over like going like, oh,
I've seen other
I'm
teams
going.
try and chase it. Like they go, oh, you know, you need more savory in the country and sweeter here and
Yeah,
blah blah blah. I've given up chasing it. I found it too difficult. So we just try and stick to if something's working. If we're getting top fives in something, we'll keep doing that. If it's beyond top five, we'll make changes. Yeah. Not massive changes. You got to just tweak.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's one of those things. But certainly people think that, you know, I've seen teams completely change their sauce profiles because they're in X, Y, Z. And like, I can tell you straight out, no one in Oki likes Signature Smoke Food. Every time we go there, we do really bad. Oki's near Toowoomba, and it just doesn't work for us. But Bundaberg people and Kingaroy people love it. So you can look at it over a period of time and go, I can't work out why. But yeah.
I was doing a bit of research and stuff and for a few different shows, and one of the things that came up is like comes under the age of the people as well, and how much taste buds they have and don't have, because obviously the older you get, and how much of the demographics smoke in that area. Like it's like, well, you know, it's ridiculous. And how about you, Kim? Kimmy, do you guys compete much?
I did. I competed in Kangaroo Valley back in 2019. I only did it once. I came last. I had the best weekend. I had so much fun.
That's all that matters. I reckon that's all
that
matters.
I got 14th in pork ribs, which I was pretty proud about. But at the end of the day, you know, catering's our thing. Competition isn't our thing. Yeah. I just had a ball. It's our local comp. I just went, you know what? I'm going to have a go. I got second in the Devon comp. We have a Devon competition, and I got second.
I love it. What did you do with the Devon?
Yeah, what did you do with the Devon? That's unreal.
Tomato sauce on white bread. That's how I like it.
Sliced just the right amount.
Hands down. So I did a Devon cup. So I had my muffin tins and I sliced Devon. So I made a little cup and we smoked sweet potato. We had some whipped cream, some caramel, some chocolate cookies. So it was kind of sweet, sour, salty.
Sweet potato and caramel in Devon.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was so delicious. It was actually really delicious. Sweet, sour, and salty.
That's the sort of thing for SCA. Like there's
it's crazy stuff.
Like that.
Crazy stuff. Yeah. But
some of the stuff you see on the plate.
I had a ball.
That's unreal.
Yeah, I deep fried a pork chop because I didn't care. Basically, at Kingaroy, we all got given pork chops for SCA, and I'm like, what am I going to do with this? Like, and I just said to Dusty, they were in the next tent to us. I said, you know what? I think I'm going to deep fry it. They're like, what? So I went, well,
take that up.
I actually don't worry about my results in SCA. I've got this pork chop. I either take it home and eat it because we were trying to steak that time as well, or I've got a great deep fryer here. We've got chicken seasoning. Let's coat it and just deep fry it.
Pancake batter, mate. Pancake batter.
We got fifth. It did well.
Yes.
It did well.
It did well.
It got fifth. It actually beat a few people that were trying really hard. So the creativity is key.
You know what? I actually absolutely love the end. I mean, I've only experienced it at Meatstock and a couple of other events, but that scoring at the end and the anticipation and the call outs and the call ups, it is just so cool to watch. I don't know if you, I mean, obviously you guys sit through that quite a bit as well, but it is quite fun. And like you said, when you hit someone and you beat a few people with something like fried pork chops, that's a good night.
Or you think you've done really badly in a category and that comes up with a walk and you're just like,
I know.
The words that you want to say, I'm not saying on a podcast. You just sit there going, no way. Like, really? Yeah. And the things that you think you nailed, like you're like really happy with that, that's going to get a walk. You're like 23rd, 24th out of 25 in the field. And you're just like, what?
I know. People always go, how do you think you went? I always go, I don't know. That's what I've been saying the last 3 years. They go, what do you mean you don't know? I'm like, well, you know, who knows until the results come out? Because there's been
Yeah.
times I thought that we've really screwed something up and it's done really well. Like, and there's times, where I thought I've done really well. Exactly what Roz said. Oh, they're 25th in that one. Whoops. Like,
Yeah.
I thought that was
unreal.
the best I've ever cooked.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And do you?
You can't pick it. It's so hard.
No, 100%
when it-
agree with you, Roz.
When it comes to hand-ins, do you have a preference? Do you try and get there right at the start? Do you want to get there at the end? Or do you just get there when you can?
As long as we're approaching close to time, I'm like, yeah, okay, we're plating up. As long as it's not like right on the buzzer, where I would say that's probably your sweet spot, because you sort of go, okay, I've got 10 minutes. Right, if we start here, if it goes a little bit past, you've still got that buffer.
Yeah.
Or you want someone that can walk really fast.
Yeah. That walk up is so funny to watch with some teams. They take it very, very seriously.
Oh, we all had a debate. Who's doing the walk? No, I'm not doing the walk.
Cannot drop it.
No, I can't do those stairs because I'll fall over. No, I'm not taking that. I'll fall over.
100% Roz. I get scared. I'm like,
Walk slowly, concentrate.
Just start
No one
shaking
around
the
me.
box the way in.
I feel like everyone's watching you.
yeah.
And
I
then
like
you know,
meatloaf was tough. There was too many. There was thousands of people, and I was like, I wanted traffic control.
Yeah.
did you see the video? One of the teams was racing to try that. It came back up on, I think it was an ABA. One of the teams was racing to get there and fell over just before the table, and they were like,
No.
That is literally, well, that was my biggest fear at Smokefest.
Yeah.
It's just like, nope. If I do it, I will fall over because I'm clumsy. Like, I can guarantee you it will end up on the floor. And it's just a fear that you see once and you're like, no, it's going to happen to me.
Yeah, I like this sounds dodgy, but while we're here anyway, I like to queue up behind really good teams. So it doesn't matter if
They got like a fond memory in front of it.
or last, but if I'm behind a really someone that I think is a really good team, we're not going to be on the same table. The judging.
Well played.
Yeah, that makes me
There you
feel
go.
like, okay, this is cool. Like, and you can't pick that though. You don't know what's going to happen.
No, that's it.
Handles.
That's it.
So yeah.
That's all real. And look, just I guess quick fire question: what's your most favorite and least favorite thing to cook in the comps? Starting with you, Kimmi. When
Least
you did do a
favorite thing
comp,
to cook. Chicken.
Really?
Yeah, I did chicken wings. I wasn't a fan of what I did. I should have just like walked away.
Just
my
deep fry.
favorite thing is lamb. I love cooking lamb. It just every time just pull the bone, slide it out, and happy as pig and shit.
Well, there's no beeping for us swearing.
Sorry.
There's no beeping when you swear, Kimmi. It's good.
No, yeah. It's just enjoy yourself.
That's
Kind of
my favorite.
session.
Chicken's my least favorite.
How about you? Sorry, Kimmi broke up a little bit there. Sonia, how about you? What's your most favorite and what's your least favorite cook? Especially comes to the comp side of things.
It's a tough one. So we sort of split out the proteins. Like, I make a lot of the sauces and stuff at home. I am always responsible for my nickname is Chicken Knickers, so I always do chicken.
You sent me the photo.
I love it, but I fucking hate it. Scraping those skins. Ugh.
Yeah. No, I've done it once as a test at home, and I'm like, oh god, this is the worst.
Tedious.
Yeah.
But you can love and hate it all at once. If I'm smashing food at a comp, it's lamb. I love lamb. So lamb ribs, lamb cutlets, and typically we do pretty good in lamb. Least favorite, I think you messaged me earlier. I hate beef cheeks. I cannot stand them.
I'm with you on that. Not a fan.
And we've got to
They're
do
the
them in the
worst.
next comp in 2 weeks. And I'm really a little bit sad about that because I like to be able to eat what we cook. Like to test it and stuff, but I don't want a bar of it.
And that's the thing, you got to eat beef cheeks like within seconds of it being cooked. I felt like as soon as it gets anywhere below like a certain temp, it's just the worst to eat.
They're just horrible. Like, they shouldn't exist. personally. Like, I don't care. We've tried so many different ways to cook them, and it doesn't matter. Chuck red wine on, chuck whatever whatever. It just doesn't. I just don't like them. So we'll see. There'll be some judges in 2 weeks from now eating our beef cheeks of all things. But
we want results. We want answers.
I'll have to follow up on that one. How about you, Rose?
I would have to say my worst one is brisket, believe it or not. And I could cook a brisket blindfolded now because I do so much. A comp brisket. I actually finally nailed my very first comp brisket while we were at Smokefest. And I have done practice on practice on practice on practice. And I know this is sacrilege, but it wasn't done until it hit 220. And like it blew me out. Like I just because I'm so used to doing it.
Was it just
you can't. It just wasn't probing soft. It was so hard. I was just like, this is, and MB9, you're expecting it to be just like butter. And it was so far past anything that I would normally do that it just made me really uncomfortable that it's got to come off. Like it's way too high. It needs to come off. But it wasn't. It had to just keep going and keep going. And I was looking for reassurance going, this is wrong. This is like, in my head, this is not how you cook brisket. This isn't how you do it. But it got there in the end and it was perfect. So I was happy with it. I was happy with how it turned out. But definitely has to be my favorite would have to be pork ribs.
Yeah, awesome.
I like eating them.
Oh, you okay, Rose?
Oh, am I back?
Yeah.
I just crashed out of it. I'm like,
Your favorite is pork ribs. That's the last time we heard it. We all went like, yes, pork ribs.
Yeah, pork ribs. Absolutely love doing pork ribs. I may have done them a little bit early last time. So it kind of screwed me out with timing because I was so excited and I just got my cook on and went, okay.
That's the hardest bit.
Yeah.
You got to have your run sheets.
Flavor out of pork ribs is just next to none. So and we do a peach pork rib as well, so it's just it's beautiful sweet. So definitely has to be pork ribs.
I mean, I guess my two would be I'm not a fan of lamb, more from a taste point of view. I don't mind cooking it, I just don't like eating it.
Have you eaten lamb ribs?
I've had lamb ribs.
I love lamb ribs.
Yeah, not a fan.
No, wow.
No.
So I'm with you there. I don't like lamb. I don't eat lamb. We don't ever cook lamb in the house.
I love it.
With you on that one. So to win lamb is just insane.
Yeah, well, I'm trying my best. I've got to challenge myself for the next in 2023, and it's just to cook more lamb. But yeah, that's what I struggle with purely from a taste point of view. I mean, I cook it and it's simple enough, but man, the way everything smells once you prep lamb, it's just like, I can't handle that either. So it's the pre and the post.
The quickest way to get rid of that smell straight up, and it's really good if you want to cook halal as well, is to use a sweet soy sauce as your binder on lamb because it actually draws out that blood and that smell from it. It'll completely
like an ABC sauce, like a sweet soy.
Any brand, it doesn't matter, but sweet soy, and because it gives it that really tackiness, but that smell also disappears really quickly. Yeah,
awesome. I'll have to give that a go. I've got a few cooks I want to do. I haven't done a shoulder. I've just only done ribs, and I've done the lamb chop sort of thing and lamb tenderloin sort of things. So I want to do a good shoulder and work through it. And my favorite is pork ribs. It's one of those things. I just love the way it carries flavor. It just I haven't done it in comp scene, but at the same time, just stuff. The flavor you can throw at pork ribs is unreal, and then it goes to another level. So it's unreal. Now, look, I guess I just wanted to ask a tip. I mean, do you one of the things we asked, like, do you guys have a signature dish? Is there something that you go like, this is what I smash out of the park, and this is what if you're going to MasterChef, this is the dish I'd put up. But anything you guys come to mind? I mean, maybe I'll start with you, Kimmi, because you've had the most time to to prep anyway.
Get told on a regular occasion, my mac and cheese goes all right.
Yeah, nice.
Straight
And it's easy. It's easy to say it's mac and cheese, and you're like, oh, it's just mac and cheese. But man, when you have good mac and cheese, it's it's unreal.
Yeah,
Can be a different level.
and yeah, lamb shoulders. Lamb shoulders are
Okay,
my
I'll have to message you when I'm doing the lamb shoulder.
yeah. I don't know. I can't fail them. Can't fail them. Yeah. But no, as for anything else, it's sort of, we have our catering menu and we crack it out hard and fast, and we just do our job and have done for so long. And but yeah, definitely I think mac and cheese and lamb would be my two signature go-tos that everyone comes back for.
Excellent. And speaking of signature, how about you?
I know, I was like,
they're all
oh, we're a funny house here. So we really love like Mexican food and Mexican drinks, and so we sort of do a lot in those sort of flavor profiles. I like to try and keep as much fresh flavors with our meat as well. So we like making barmies and with I'm apparently the crackle queen is what my partner calls it. I'm always keen on doing a lot of crackle if possible with anything.
Yeah.
But if we're not doing crackle, it's more those sort of Mexican flavor profiles that we do with our meat overall.
Yeah.
So
awesome.
yeah, it's just a bit of fun, really. Bit of theme there. So we often do theme cook-ups. So we've done an Oktoberfest afternoon here, just not in October, just for us. Pretzels and pork nuts. I love doing pork nuts. Those sort of things.
Right.
So yeah, big hearty food is what we like.
Yeah.
So certainly when we cook at home, it's nothing like what we do at comp. That's for sure.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
And we
100%.
don't practice for comp. We really do that at comp.
Yeah. You practice at this comp for the next comp, and then from that comp for the next comp. I love it.
Yeah, exactly. It's just too much.
Oh yeah, it'd be crazy otherwise.
Yeah.
And how about you, Rose?
Well, our signature dish has to be the King Kong. So we created this monster burger out of just creativity, and it has been copied many times. It's got brisket, pulled pork, Kransky, whether it's a cheese Kransky or a jalapeno and cheese Kransky, double American cheddar with our smoked hickory barbecue sauce, our own slaw, which is a sweeter slaw, and pickles. And I mean, it's over 500 grams of meat, and it stands about 5.5 inches tall. And it would have to be the most signature burger that.
I love this stuff.
We've seen people that are like stick as skinny, smash out of King Kong and come back for more food, and you're just like,
wow,
right, okay, like how did you eat?
I had it for lunch.
Let it settle. Let it sit.
I bought one and I literally cut it in half because I was like, I can't eat all this.
It's massive. Like it's an extreme burger, but because it's so popular, it gets copied everywhere. And you're sort of like, oh, thanks, I appreciate your coffee. Yeah.
That's good.
But catering wise, I'd have to say it's either the candied pork belly or our potato bake. Potato bake, hands down, is something that everyone comes back for and goes, how did you make that? I need it. I need it more in my life. Can you get me some more? We're definitely well known for a couple different dishes. So
that's unreal. I'm just sad I'm so far away from you all.
We're possibly coming for meat stock because you're in Melbourne, aren't you? We're coming for meat stock.
Yes, I will.
Definitely see that. We're trying to work out numbers for that, but we're
I'm planning to be in Toowoomba and Sydney for meat stock as well. So
hopefully we're definitely meat stock. We're definitely at Sydney and Toowoomba. But we're trying to work out numbers to see if we can get to Melbourne now. So
Melbourne looks amazing. And the music lineup.
So if you know anyone that wants to lend us some barbecues, let us know because we would have come to Melbourne.
Yeah, sure. Hit me up. I've got a few people can ask. There's definitely people here that are keen. So,
and Roz, you and I had some drinks after it's all finished.
Absolutely.
And then you finish one as well.
I'm just coming just for the hell of it.
Yeah, do it.
I'll come along. We'll all have some drinks and we'll be like, thank God so much.
It's such a good festival. I must admit, I'm definitely hooked with
so much fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, so good to chat to you all. And I guess, while we got you on, where can we find you all online? What's the social? What's the website? What's coming up next? Where can we find your either a pop-up or your next catering gig that we could possibly come and try your food? So maybe start with you Kimmi, again, or just feel like that's the circle there.
Yeah, we're Jervis Bay, New South Wales, so South Coast. So we're Nomad Kitchen and BBQ. Our next public function is the Huskisson Hotel Gin Festival.
Ooh,
I like
so
that. Real.
Yeah, should be good.
I'm just going to drop your Instagram account to start with on the chats, so everyone gets it.
I'm just trying to think off the top of my head. See, rolling into Christmas, it's just Christmas parties left, right, and centre. This weekend alone, we've got 3 weddings in 2 days. And then, it's just Christmas party after Christmas party from December onwards. But gin festival here in Huskisson. That's our next public.
You had me a gin festival.
Yeah,
sounds
they've
perfect.
been putting on a couple of good ones. Husky Hotel have been going all right. It's been good.
Yeah, that's awesome. That sounds good. How about you, Sonia?
So next weekend we're down in Armidale. So Angus Reserve doing basically, it's going to be quite interesting. So we've got to do 4 beef hand-ins and a dessert. And it's for all of the executives in the beef industry.
That's cool.
There is normal ABA judging, so we have to do a box with 6 as normal. So I think we've got beef cheeks as first. We've got brisket. We've got I can't even remember, rump cap. There's like,
cool.
And then we do dessert for 21 serves. And basically they'll be judging from that, but it's all the top executives and it's an invitational for the top 20 in Australia to go along. So that's going to be quite exciting. It's a great comp. So basically they've got behind everyone, so there's no entry fee for us. We don't pay for our meat or anything. It's all provided by different brands. And then everybody there will be doing the judging. So we're looking forward to that one in a fortnight down in Armidale. So it's going to be quite big for us.
And how about you, Rose?
So we're everywhere.
You sound like me. We're everywhere.
A few different pop-ups. The easiest ones are so next weekend we're at All In Brewing over on the north side of Brisbane, and we're also up at the Sunshine Coast at Torella Brewing. But every week we post up on where the pop-ups are. So it's mostly in our Facebook. We do have Instagram, but I am not as good at Instagram as I am with Facebook. I keep forgetting I've got an Instagram account. I usually post up at least once a week on where we're going and list all the pop-ups and links to the locations. So festival wise, we've just come off 3 big festivals, so we're probably trying to calm down into Christmas.
Fair enough.
We'll see what's happening next year. Hopefully we'll be at the tennis and a few other ones as well.
Looking forward to it.
Is that the Brisbane tennis at Tennyson?
Actually, it depends on the truck.
Okay.
Sorry, just as a side note, just let you know what that means. We're actually building another food truck, which, if you keep an eye open, it will be very unique, and it does not look like anything you've ever seen before. So keep an eye open for that one as well.
Nice, can't wait to see it. We'll keep
hopefully
on the socials there.
Sometime.
Now, while you're there, Roz, we always ask this because I think everyone sort of gets some inspiration out there, either from the comp scene or the social media side of things, or even the catering side of things. But where do you get some inspiration from, and who would you like to give a shout out to, out there in the barbecue world?
There's a lot of people, but to be honest, I'd have to say growing from the stock pot. We actually just went down. We had a very rare Sunday where we could take off, and we went and ran and jumped into his masterclass. And seriously, man is just such a guru with food. It's insane.
He is.
So absolutely, I keep watching all his food. And I'm like, I need to make that, or I need to go down. But yeah, we follow Graham quite closely. We also watch an awful lot of Malcolm Reed, so that's
Yes.
a big one for us as well. He does some phenomenal food.
Yeah. And how about you, Sonia?
I'm a bit of a Tuffy Stone stalker. I'm not even joking.
No, I'm with you. I'm with you on that too. The man is he's amazing.
His smoke, his books. Like, we've got so many barbecue books here, but my mission at Meat Stock was to find him and track him down and talk to him and get him to sign my book and have a photo with him.
You did.
Yeah, I brought my book that we had for 2 years. I literally had half of the comp on book out for Tuffy. So yeah, that's pretty key. From people in the actual barbecue world, we've been, Graham, obviously we sat down at his farm a couple of weekends ago. Love him, very close, great man. Drew from Mafia, he's just been unbelievable. Michael Page from Heavenly Hell. We've been very lucky that a lot of the people have just been really kind to us from the get-go. So we've just been embraced by people overall, and so we've tried
part of our barbecue industry as well is that everyone refers to it as a barbecue family, especially if in the culinary vendoring. It's very close. You know everyone knows you. It's like a little family. If one goes down, we all go down. So very much.
Yeah,
you really did see that.
Barbecue people like that. That's what our friendship circle has really turned into. Most of our time is spent with different people, like Christian and Primal, or different people that we just get and hang out with, because we all have the same goal. We all love good food. We all like to have a drink. Like, we all are pretty cruisy, fun people.
I don't know what you're talking about. What?
No.
Isn't the joke like it's my drinking team that started doing barbecue? Isn't that the
I don't mind doing a bit of barbecue on the side while I'm drinking. It's good.
How many beers did that brisket take? Like,
yes.
Yeah.
It's okay
to where's the carton? Like, why don't I know what's going on?
I know. It's so much sponsored by alcohol companies. It's brilliant. So but no, there's so many people, I couldn't even list them all, that I really have just been fantastic and helped us along. So
that's fantastic. And finally, you Kimmi, anything? Who inspires you? Who can we give a shout out to?
Look, Andrew and Alinka from Black Iron Smokers. Andrew was kind enough. He built our big smoker. We got basically given a barrel, a firebox, and 2 doors. And Andrew built it for us. So watching the way he works, we work alongside him at least 4 or 5 times a year. We always have a laugh. We always bounce off each other. It's never competition. It's always family, as we all said. As for like food inspiration, the other half's a chef. I don't know if you can see behind me, but there's about 500 cookbooks.
Whole section like that. So,
that's all right.
And so, look, we follow a lot of people on Facebook. You always find new ideas and always find new things to do. 2 of our food vans, one's very versatile, where you can mix it up. The other one's got 2 deep fryers in it, and that's what we built it for. So you can do barbecue inspired bits. Fried pork ribs, for example, they're the top seller when we have them on. Chicken wings, fried crispy chicken wings with some sweet, sour, and salty sort of elements. But as for actual, like, I don't know, barbecue kind of in food people, I don't know. I haven't got one. There's just too many.
No, you've got heaps.
You just want to. You
want to look at all different ones. I mean, I've got hundreds of cookbooks too. Sit there and scroll them for 1 hour, start flipping the pages,
Yeah.
go to the next one.
I
Just
finally
list out all the
dragged,
books. That's fine.
yeah, I finally dragged the other half to Sydney. It's the first time he's been there in probably 7 years that he's been outside of Shellhaven. And
Yeah.
90% of the food that I wanted to take him to try was shut because it was Monday.
Oh, Mondays are the worst.
Yeah.
I'm like, we could go and try this, we could go try this, we could go here, we could go there. Yeah, shut. It's Monday.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So
that's a bugger.
yeah, it's just there's like, I guess, living sort of, you girls, your Brisbane,
Yeah.
there's a lot more sort of opportunities and stuff like that here on the South Coast. There's a lot of bouncing off each other. You become inspired by something someone's done that you could either build off or even just bring back a bit to make it work for you. So a lot of local guys do a lot of good work, and it's like, okay, I like that idea. What can we change it to make our own? How can we change it to make our own? That sort of thing. Yeah. But yes, don't mind the old Tuffy and Big Mo and they're always good value. Always good value.
No, absolutely. No, and I think it's a true thing you say, where you draw inspiration from so many different places. It is hard to just go like, this person or that person.
Yeah.
And definitely the more popular ones will always sort of catch your eye as well. But Roz, Kimmi, Sonia, so good to catch up with you all and have a chat. And it was sad that we didn't have Ceri here and have as well. But look,
have we heard? Is she okay? What's going on?
Yeah, we'll find out.
Not sure.
Yeah. But look, it was great to have a chat to you all, and like I said, pre-show as well. I think each of you could effectively have your own segment, one of these too. But it was nice to get you together and have a chat and just sort of, I guess, show some of the people behind the scenes of the women of Low and Slow Barbecue Australia. So thanks heaps for coming on. I hope you guys have a great weekend. All the best.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah,
that's all right.
It's been fun.
Yeah, it has been fun. I've really enjoyed it. So, so all the best. Hopefully we. That's good. For me, it's the
My
gin and
cheeks
the
are
beer.
hurting from smiling.
No, fantastic. Have a great night. Hopefully, we see you all at one of the meat stocks here and there.
Yes.
Like I said, we're going to try and hit all of them. So we'll see you at one of those. We'll come say good day and hopefully grab a selfie or something like that. And take care, and we'll talk soon.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thanks for having us.
Not a problem. Now comes really hard bit. We have to remove each of you one at a time. So
I was going to say.
yeah.
I'll go.
Kimmi's got to go last because she's been here the least.
Okay, Kimmi, you're on.
All right, see you, Roz.
See you later.
See ya.
Bye, Roz. See
Bye,
you soon.
everyone.
Bye.
See you, Sonia. Sketch you later. And thanks for coming in.
Thanks,
Kimmi.
Ray.
I'm glad you made it in the end. That was fantastic to see you.
I did. I had the
See
kid
you.
on Google going, how far till is it at home?
No, excellent. I'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, mate. See ya.
See ya. All right, everyone. That was some of the people from some of the ladies from the Women of Low and Slow Barbecue. So good to have them on to have a chat. Obviously, Roz, Sonia, and Kimmi there. So check them out on the socials. And it was cool to get their stories. And obviously, like I said, they could all have their individual stories, their individual episodes. So it was just nice to get them together and share some of the stories and share some of the experiences. I think you probably would have seen as well. So look, with that. Next week is a 10 a.m. show. We got Butcher Girl Alison Meager on the show as well, so she's coming on. Can't wait to have a chat to Alison and just sort of see her journey and just get an insight into sort of butchering and red meat and that sort of thing. So she's doing some great stuff, and can't wait to have a chat to her as well. And until then, huge thanks to theripesociety.com.au and Brewery Cola. This beer has gone down really well. It's enjoyed it really well. Look after yourselves, and hopefully we see you all next week for another episode of Barbecue and Brews. Catch you later.